The Cost of Neglect. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, where the days were long and the evenings carried the scent of blooming hibiscus, Ao and Bizi once shared a love so pure that the townsfolk often marveled at their bond. They had met during a church festival years ago. Ao, with his soft-spoken nature and infectious smile, had won Bizi over with his simple charm. Ao was a carpenter, a craftsman with a gift for creating beauty from wood. His hands, rough and calloused, were symbols of his hard work. Though he earned a modest income, he was content, his heart brimming with gratitude for the simple joys of life. Bizi, on the other hand, was a woman with dreams larger than their little town. She had always envisioned herself living in luxury, adorned with fine clothes and jewels, surrounded by the trappings of wealth. At first, their love overcame every obstacle. Ao's devotion to Bizi was unwavering, and for a time, Bizi found happiness in his kind-heartedness. But as the years passed, the stark reality of their humble existence began to gnaw at her. She started to notice the peeling paint on their home, the frayed edges of her clothes, and the absence of the luxuries she had always yearned for. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Bizi sat on their small veranda, staring at the distant hills. Ao joined her, his face lit with excitement. "I've been working on a new design," he said, showing her a sketch. "If I can sell a few of these, I'll save enough to expand the workshop. Maybe even hire an assistant." Bizi glanced at the sketch, a beautifully crafted chair with intricate carvings. She sighed, her expression unimpressed. "Ao, how long will it take? How many years before we can live like normal people? I'm tired of waiting." Her words stung, but Ao masked his hurt. "Bizi, I'm doing my best. I know it's hard, but things will get better. Just trust me." She didn't respond, her silence heavy with disappointment. As time went on, Bizi's dissatisfaction grew. She began to compare Ao to other men in the town. Men who drove cars, wore expensive clothes, and treated their wives to outings and gifts. One man in particular caught her eye. Femi, a wealthy businessman who had recently moved to the town. Femi was everything Ao wasn't: confident, wealthy, and extravagant. It started innocently enough. Bizi would bump into Femi at the market or see him at social gatherings. He was charming and attentive, always quick with a compliment. Over time, their encounters became more frequent, and Bizi found herself drawn to his world of affluence. One day, Femi invited Bizi to lunch. She hesitated, knowing it was wrong, but the temptation was too strong. She told herself it was harmless, just a meal. But as the weeks turned into months, their meetings became more intimate. Femi showered her with gifts, from expensive jewelry to designer handbags. For the first time in years, Bizi felt special, desired. Meanwhile, Ao remained blissfully unaware. He worked long hours in his workshop, his hands tirelessly shaping wood into works of art. He was saving every penny, determined to give Bizi the life she deserved. One evening, Ao came home earlier than usual, a small box in his hand. Inside was a delicate gold necklace he had purchased with his hard-earned savings. He planned to surprise Bizi, to remind her of his love and commitment. As he approached their home, he heard laughter coming from inside. Curious, he pushed the door open and froze. There, in the living room, sat Bizi and Femi, their hands intertwined. The sight of them together was like a dagger to his heart. The box slipped from Ao's hand, the necklace clattering to the floor. Bizi turned, her face pale. "Ao," she began, her voice trembling. Femi stood, his expression smug. "Well, I suppose you figured it out," he said, his tone mocking. Ao didn't respond to him. His eyes were fixed on Bizi, filled with a pain so deep it was almost unbearable. "Why, Bizi?" he asked softly. "I thought we were building something together." Bizi couldn't meet his gaze. "I'm tired, Ao. Tired of struggling, of pretending everything's okay. Femi, he can give me the life I've always wanted." Ao's shoulders slumped, the weight of her betrayal crushing him. Without another word, he turned and walked out, leaving behind the home they had built together. For weeks, Ao was a shell of himself. He threw himself into his work, using the pain as fuel for his craft. His creations became even more intricate, each piece a testament to his resilience. Word of his talent spread, and soon, he began receiving orders from wealthy clients. His workshop expanded, and his once simple life transformed into one of success and recognition. Bizi, on the other hand, discovered the emptiness of the life she had chosen. At first, she enjoyed the luxuries Femi provided, the parties, the clothes, the attention. But it didn't take long for the cracks to appear. Femi was controlling and dismissive, treating her more like an accessory than a partner. She realized too late that she had traded genuine love for a hollow dream. One day, Bizi found herself standing outside Ao's workshop, watching him from a distance. He was surrounded by customers, his face lit with pride as he displayed his work. He looked different, stronger, more confident. She wanted to call out to him, to beg for forgiveness, but shame held her back. Ao noticed her and paused, his expression unreadable. He approached her, his steps measured. "Bizi," he said, his voice calm but distant. "Ao," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. I didn't realize what I had until I lost it." Ao looked at her for a long moment, his eyes filled with a quiet strength. "I loved you, Bizi," he said. "I would have given you everything I had. But love isn't enough when there's no respect. I've moved on. I hope you find peace." With that, he walked away, leaving Bizi to grapple with the weight of her choices. As she watched him go, she realized she had lost more than she could ever regain. In the years that followed, Ao's success continued to grow, his life filled with purpose and joy. And though Bizi remained in the town, her once bright dreams now felt like distant echoes, reminders of a love she had taken for granted and a man she had let slip through her fingers.